This one is an interesting one because I think the question is meant to kind of play with your head a little. Am I still playing Dragonflight or did I quit? Let's see how we answer this question.
Ever since I started streaming Classic WoW Hardcore, the Lord of the Rings World of Warcraft challenge, as well as my recent video where I talked about Elder Scrolls Online and the new Arcanist class, a common question that I've been getting in the comment sections and even behind the scenes on Discord and stuff is, am I even playing Dragonflight right now? And that is something that I would like to talk about today. What is my relationship to the modern version of World of Warcraft? It's very possible that you guys have seen content from me about Dragonflight over the past several months. I was not shy about the fact that when Dragonflight came out, I was very, very enthusiastic about this expansion, and I thought that it was very good. In fact, I thought it was so good that I was regularly releasing videos praising the expansion, saying, hey, this is a pretty solid move from Blizzard. This is really...
Dragonflight is great. From the start, it's been great. And yes, it's had its lulls like any other expansion, but so far, I would still say Dragonflight has been great.
What we've been looking for in an expansion for a while. Not perfect by any means, but it's a good expansion. And I actually got to the point where I was making so much positive World of Warcraft content for the first time in so long that people assumed that Blizzard was paying me to promote Dragonflight and say that it was good. I can say for the record that Blizzard has never once paid me anything to promote WoW, to do anything in relation to WoW. Me and Blizzard have no contact whatsoever. If we did, I probably wouldn't be making videos of Drakthir crapping anal beads made of WoW tokens, okay?
What video was this? Oh my god. I never saw this.
I don't think that Blizzard would be too cool.
Yeah, I would say he probably does not have a relationship with Blizzard based on that one.
About, paying someone money to make content like that.
What's up, Jice?
What I'm trying to say is that Dragonflight, despite all the concerns and controversy before it came out, pretty solid expansion. I was having a lot of fun with it. A lot of people were having a lot of fun with it. Unfortunately, the expansion didn't sell as well as Blizzard was probably hoping for, but with all their PR disasters...
And based on the current sale on the expansion as well, like they have the 20% off, I think it's still lacking in sales a little bit.
That's really not that surprising, to be honest. It certainly isn't surprising
Shadowlands
to me.
really
it's probably
damaged
going to take a few expansions before Blizzard can really turn things around and bring people back to Azeroth.
The lack of sales is totally a shot against Shadowlands and not Dragonflight.
And I've talked about this in previous videos, but until Blizzard fixes the early game in World of Warcraft and makes it more engaging, more fun, players are just going to try the game and they're just going to quit because they're going to think, oh, this game's boring and stupid. But that's something I made a whole separate video about. Like anybody, though, after playing the game for some time, I started to experience a little bit of a burnout, especially when I wasn't able to find a good raiding guild. Instead, I just switched into just my typical altaholic nature. I started leveling up characters on retail WoW, and it was around this time.
Look, I mean, the altaholic nature has totally been embraced by Dragonflight. I think Blizzard realized people do get burned out. No matter how much content you're putting in, people are going to get burned out. So alts are a key way to keep people subscribed, and I think that's why Dragonflight is the most alt-friendly expansion ever in the history of the game. Me, myself, I'm a little bit burned out. That's why I haven't been doing really more than 1 Mythic Plus a week. I've just been doing the bare minimum to get my vault slots open and stuff like that. But otherwise, I don't play alts. That's just never been my thing. But people who do, I mean, it's literally the reason they keep their subscription.
Time that I discovered Classic WoW Hardcore for the first time. Shockingly, despite being the Classic fan that I am, I've never really... I mean, like, I had heard of Classic WoW Hardcore, but I had never really, like, dived into it, really checked it out, seen the add-on and stuff, seen the events that were being hosted around Classic Hardcore. I never looked into any of that or really bothered. I just thought it was, like, this kind of fringe thing, like, far out there that only a few people did. But I quickly realized that there was a very big community around Classic WoW Hardcore, and I wanted to try it out for myself. In fact, I might make a whole dedicated video sharing my thoughts on Classic WoW Hardcore in 2023, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, I'd watch that.
I downloaded the add-on, I made my first character, and I have to say that Classic WoW Hardcore was very much a big breath of fresh air for me in terms of World of Warcraft content. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the modern game, I think it's a good game, but it's nowhere near as good as Classic WoW is. I know some people are going to disagree with that. Look, I played the game back in 2005. It has a special place in my heart. That's
Same.
the version of WoW that I like the most. And having the hardcore add-on now with all these extra challenges and steps and whatnot to make classic WoW all the more interesting and all the more engaging and immersive, I absolutely loved it. It was a massive breath of fresh air for me.
That's interesting.
It was like
I've never played. I played classic WoW when it dropped, and obviously I played vanilla WoW when it was out. But classic WoW hardcore, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Just never really thought about ever trying it.
playing classic WoW all over
Maybe
again,
one day.
just in a different way. So I really got into the classic WoW hardcore scene. In fact, I was so
Sounds
into
so
it that I
bad
even
to me.
streamed for the first time in months me doing the classic WoW hardcore challenge on an undead warrior. That is until I realized that I accidentally broke the rules of the challenge that I was doing and I had to restart. So it is what it is. And, you know, it was during this time that my love for leveling and adventure in World of Warcraft really started to come back. And I started to ponder a lot on how I could make the leveling even more interesting and more engaging. And this led to me revisiting my old Lord of the Rings World of Warcraft leveling challenge, which I did on retail WoW in the 2 seasons that I made the challenge, but I've never made a
Nixxiom.
classic WoW version of the Lord of the Rings leveling challenge. So one day what I did is I went onto the metaphorical drawing board and I started coming up with
See some level
rules for the Lord.
Yeah, so the hardcore challenge, I'm sure, you know, includes the fact that you cannot die. No deaths. Deaths means the end of the challenge.
For the Rings challenge.
That's crazy.
I ultimately streamed the first episode, me giving it a try. We quickly discovered some of the, you know, the flaws in my rules, some of the good stuff, some of the bad. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time with you guys. Hope you guys had a good time too. So lately, I admit I've been baptizing myself a bit more into classic WoW. And when I say classic, I don't mean Wrath of the Lich King classic. I mean classic vanilla WoW.
Classic,
and just
yeah.
being more involved in that community.
So many
and
classics
just
now.
seeing what it has to offer. I'm a really big fan of like what communities can create with games. Big fan, for example, of the Skyrim modding scene. If you guys remember
Have you guys seen all the mods that have already been made for Harry Potter? For Legacy of Hogwarts? It's hilarious. Oh my god. Like, people just avada-kedavering everything in the game.
my honorable Viking challenge. I'm
Mods
really
are
big
fun to
fan of
watch.
just what the community is capable of when game developers give them the tools in order to make what they want. And sometimes my love of community creation and community-driven passion projects has led me to some interesting places. I will not give too many details because I don't want to make the man angry at me, but let's just say that I got a special invitation to the, you know, the VIP Turtle Club, and I've been hanging out with the turtles lately, and that has been great. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't,
The hell
you
is he
don't.
talking
No
about?
big deal. Don't worry about it. So yeah, man, like classic WoW, the hardcore classic challenges, the Lord of the Rings challenge, turtle clubs, and some other stuff, you know, here and there. It's just been a good time lately. You know, Dragonflight, yeah, you know, the content came out. Yeah, I consumed it, got a little bored of it. But the good thing about WoW is there's always so much to do and so much to explore.
You can always just
I've
make
also
your
been
own
playing
adventure.
Hogwarts Legacy on the side whenever I have the opportunity to play it. So I think all of us have been playing that, to be fair. We've been distracted from our World of Warcraft adventurings to go to Hogwarts and learn some magic. So I'm guilty of that just as much as many of you guys probably are. And I've also been checking out some other MMOs lately. I've been playing a little bit of ESO again, just kind of getting into the ESO vibe, getting hyped for the new expansion Necrom and the Arcanist class coming out, just kind of
they got a new expansion
that
coming out?
ESO whistle. I've been wanting to check out some older MMOs again, like Guild Wars 2, maybe check out Star Wars Galaxies again, because there's some emulator servers for that very old as dirt MMO. Really, a lot of my gaming focus right now is just trying community-made stuff, kind of checking out some older MMOs, preparing for some new stuff down the road, and casting a lot of spells. And so admittingly, I'm not really giving Dragonflight a lot of love right now. And that's not to say that...
I've been seeing a lot of people talking about Guild Wars 2 lately. Why is that? Did they have an expansion or something? It seems like a lot of people are trying it out. Ew, gross. I don't align with this guy at all.
I hate the expansion, or that I think it's bad, or I think that you shouldn't try it or something.
Do you have
But,
Discord, Sam?
you know,
Yeah. Exclamation
I've
point
played
Discord
it. It's
in the
fun,
chat. We'll take you there.
I'm checking out some other things right now, and you might see some of that leaking onto the channel here and there with some more ESO content.
Yeah, it's for
maybe
the
me
community.
checking out and making videos about Guild Wars 2 or Star Wars Galaxies or some other MMOs I check out. You know, just whatever, some classic hardcore stuff. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I'm talking about. So that's currently my state when it comes to gaming, and hopefully that answers any questions, because that question was popping up a lot during my stream. Like, Nixxiom, why aren't you playing Dragonflight? Like, what's going on? Do you think that Dragonflight is dragging its nuts now and you just don't want to play it? Like, what's going on? So hopefully this video answers that question. Thank you guys for watching.
Achilles?
It, though.
Good morning.
I do appreciate it. I'm not going to give you the whole, YouTuber, shebang at the end.
Yeah.
Like the video and subscribe and whatnot. But if you want to do
I'll
that,
do that
go for
anyways.
it. That's
Yeah.
right. And
what a way to say it.
I guess I'll see you guys with my next video. Stay cool. That's right. So stay cool. So stay cool. So stay dragony. So stay cool. That's right.
So the video, I mean, he gets into the current state of Dragonflight, and there's nothing wrong with it. To feel burned out, it doesn't mean the expansion is bad. It just means we played this game a lot. It's hard to play any game as much as we play World of Warcraft, or I play World of Warcraft, and never get burned out. That's going to happen, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's a bad expansion. I still think Dragonflight has been a great expansion so far. The true story of Dragonflight is yet to be told. We got to see how fast content rolls out and everything. They have the, the layout, the plan of how the expansion is supposed to go. And if they follow that plan, I think Dragonflight in the end will go down as a good expansion. But we'll see. We'll see. So far, yes, I felt the burnout as well a little bit, but I'm still playing and I still enjoy the game.